help me reach 1,000 subscribers. Please like the video and share your thoughts on the video. Your feedback helps make the contents better. Now let's get to the story.
My name is Daniel Reed. I'm 34 years old, and I'm standing in the frozen food aisle of a Whole Foods in downtown Chicago, staring at a woman who just shattered my entire marriage with a smirk that could cut glass. Let me back up for a second. 10 minutes ago, I was just a regular guy trying to figure out if I wanted the organic pizza or the slightly less organic pizza. Now I'm apparently the punchline to a joke I didn't even know was being told. The woman in front of me is Vanessa Chen, my wife's gorgeous friend and supposed travel companion for what Sarah told me was a girls' wellness retreat in Sedona. Vanessa's standing here in Chicago, in yoga pants and a cashmere sweater, holding a basket with wine and sushi, looking very much not in Arizona. "Wait," I said, my pizza forgotten. "You're not on the trip with my wife?" That's when she hit me with it, that smirk, that casual, devastating smirk. "She's with her lover, Daniel," she said, like she was commenting on the weather. Then her eyes did this slow, deliberate scan from my face down to my chest and back up. "Forget her. How about dinner with me tonight?" I should probably tell you how I got here, not to this Whole Foods specifically, but to this moment where my wife of 6 years is apparently screwing someone else while I'm debating pizza varieties like a complete idiot. I'm a software engineer for a mid-sized tech company. I work from home 3 days a week, which means I've perfected the art of looking productive while actually watching YouTube videos about conspiracy theories and unsolved crimes. I'm not rich, but I'm comfortable. Sarah and I have a nice 2-bedroom condo in Lincoln Park, a decent car, and until about 10 minutes ago, I thought we had a decent marriage. Sarah is a pharmaceutical sales rep. She's 32, blonde, works out 5 times a week, and has the kind of smile that made me propose after only a year of dating. She travels for work sometimes, stays in nice hotels, comes home with stories about doctors and conferences and team-building exercises that sound boring as hell. 3 days ago, she kissed me goodbye, told me she loved me, and left for what she called a much-needed break with the girls. She was going to Sedona with Vanessa and 2 other friends from her yoga studio. 5 days of meditation, hiking, green smoothies, and whatever else women do when they want to reconnect with themselves. I said it sounded great. I meant it. I even helped her pack. Now, Vanessa's standing here eating a piece of sushi sample from a tray, waiting for my brain to process what she just said. "Wait," I said. My voice came out strangled. "Your wife," Vanessa said slowly, like I was hard of hearing, "is in the Bahamas with Marcus, her personal trainer. You know, the one with the arms?" She made a gesture that I guess was supposed to indicate impressive biceps. "They've been hooking up for about 4 months, maybe 5. I lose track." The fluorescent lights above me buzzed. Someone's cart squeaked past. A child screamed something about goldfish crackers in another aisle. Normal life continuing around me while mine imploded. "You're lying," I said, but even as the words left my mouth, things started clicking into place. The new underwear Sarah bought last month, the way she'd started going to the gym at weird hours, how she'd suddenly become very interested in privacy and started taking her phone into the bathroom with her. "Am I?" Vanessa took another piece of sushi. "Check her location sharing. Oh wait, she probably turned that off, didn't she? Told you it was draining her battery or some bullshit." She had, 2 weeks ago. "Why are you telling me this?" I asked. Vanessa's smirk softened into something that might have been sympathy if I squinted. "Because Sarah's a bitch who thinks she's smarter than everyone else. And because," she stepped closer and I could smell her perfume, something expensive and floral, "I always thought you were cute, and now you're single, or you will be." My phone felt heavy in my pocket. I pulled it out, opened Instagram, and searched for Sarah's account. Her story from this morning showed a sunset, tagged with the location Nassau, Bahamas. Not Sedona, not even close. There's a special kind of pain that comes with betrayal. It's not sharp, not at first. It's this hollow, spreading coldness that starts in your chest and works its way out until your fingers are numb and your ears are ringing. You feel stupid and angry and heartbroken all at once, and you can't figure out which emotion to lead with. I chose anger. Dinner sounds great. I heard myself say to Vanessa. Her smile widened. My place or yours? Let's start with a restaurant. I need a drink. Several drinks. Smart man. She pulled out her phone. Give me your number. I'll text you the address. 8 o'clock? I gave her my number like I was on autopilot. She left with a little wave, and I stood there in the frozen food aisle, still holding my phone, staring at my wife's Instagram story. There were more posts. Her at a beach bar, her feet in the sand, a caption that said, "Needed this so much." No photos of Marcus, obviously, she wasn't that stupid, but there was one video, just a few seconds long, of her laughing at something off camera. The camera swung briefly and caught the edge of a man's shoulder, tan and muscular, before Sarah grabbed the phone and the video ended. I went home. I didn't buy the pizza. I sat on my couch, the one Sarah picked out after we spent 3 weekends going to furniture stores, and I did something I'm not proud of. I went through our laptop, the one we shared, and checked her email. She'd been sloppy, or maybe she just didn't think I'd ever look. The hotel confirmation was right there. 1 room, 2 guests, at the Atlantis Resort. Booked under Marcus Hale's credit card. There were other emails too. Flirty messages forwarded from her personal account to her work account, probably so she could read them without me seeing notifications on her phone. My favorite one, if you can call it that, was from 6 weeks ago. Can't wait to have you all to myself in the Bahamas. Going to make you forget your husband exists. Her response, already forgotten.
The dark humor of it hit me then. I'd helped her pack for this trip. I'd zipped up her suitcase. I'd told her to have fun and relax. I'd been the perfect, supportive, completely oblivious husband. I could have confronted her right then, called her, screamed at her, demanded she come home, but something stopped me. Maybe it was pride. Maybe it was the look on Vanessa's face when she'd asked me to dinner, like I was a puzzle she wanted to solve. Or maybe I just wanted to see how far Sarah would go with her lies. I texted Vanessa, "Still on for tonight?" She responded immediately, "Can't wait. Just nice. I'm taking you somewhere expensive." The restaurant was one of those places where the menu doesn't have prices and the waiters wear nicer suits than I own. Vanessa was already there when I arrived, seating at a corner table, wearing a black dress that probably cost more than my car payment. "You clean up nice," she said as I sat down. "You're enjoying this," I said. "Immensely." She didn't even pretend otherwise. Sarah thought she was so clever, sneaking around, lying to everyone, but she got lazy, started bragging to the wrong people. And you decided to tell me because I don't like liars. Vanessa ordered us a bottle of wine without asking what I wanted, and because Sarah's been insufferable lately. Marcus is so hot, Marcus is so attentive, Marcus makes me feel alive. It's exhausting. She needed to be taken down a peg. The wine came. It was red and probably excellent. I couldn't taste it. "So what's your plan?" Vanessa asked, leaning forward. "Divorce? Confrontation? Are you going to show up at the airport when she lands and just stare at her dramatically?" "I haven't decided yet," I said, which was true. My mind was spinning through options, each one worse than the last. "Can I make a suggestion?" Vanessa's eyes glinted in the candlelight. "Don't be predictable. Don't just yell and cry and file papers. Make it memorable." "Memorable how?" She sipped her wine, considering. "Sarah is a narcissist. She thinks she's the main character in everyone's story. The worst thing you could do to her isn't hurt her. It's make her irrelevant." Over dinner, Vanessa told me everything. How Sarah had met Marcus at the gym 8 months ago, how the affair had started with innocent coffees after workouts, how it had escalated to hotel rooms during Sarah's, quote, work trips, how Sarah had convinced Vanessa and the other yoga studio friends to cover for her, promising it was just a phase and she'd figure things out soon. But she wasn't figuring anything out, Vanessa said, stabbing a piece of steak. She was planning this big romantic getaway. She showed me the resort pictures, told me how Marcus was the one, and how you were nice but boring. "Nice but boring," I repeated. The words sat in my stomach like stones. "Her words, not mine." Vanessa reached across the table and squeezed my hand. "For what it's worth, I don't think you're boring. I think you're stable, loyal, good. Sarah's an idiot for not appreciating that." We finished dinner. Vanessa paid, waving off my protests. Outside the restaurant, she stood close enough that I could feel the warmth of her body in the cool Chicago night. "Come home with me," she said. It wasn't quite a question. I should have said no. I should have gone home, processed my emotions, maybe talked to a lawyer, but I was angry and hurt and standing in front of a beautiful woman who was looking at me like I mattered. "Okay," I said. "I won't give you all the details of that night because some things should stay private. What I will say is that Vanessa's apartment was stunning, all floor-to-ceiling windows and modern furniture. And for a few hours, I forgot about Sarah entirely. The next morning, I woke up in Vanessa's bed, sun streaming through those huge windows, and the guilt hit me like a truck. I'd just cheated on my wife. Never mind that she'd cheated on me first, never mind that our marriage was clearly over, I'd still done it. Vanessa was already awake, sitting up against the headboard, scrolling through her phone. "Don't," she said without looking at me. "Don't what?" "Don't spiral into guilt. Don't make this a whole thing." She finally looked over, her expression softer than last night. "You didn't do anything wrong, Daniel. Your marriage was over the second she got on that plane with Marcus." "I still feel like shit," I admitted. "Good. That means you're a decent person." She set her phone down. "Now, are you going to stay a decent person who gets walked all over, or are you going to do something about this?" I thought about Sarah, probably lying on a beach right now, not thinking about me at all, planning what lies she'd tell when she got home. Maybe she'd bring me a souvenir, some tacky Bahamas keychain, and kiss me and tell me how much she missed me. "I'm gonna do something," I said. Vanessa smiled. "Good. I'll help." Over the next 2 days, Vanessa and I planned everything. It had to be perfect. It had to hurt. Not physically, nothing like that, but it had to make Sarah understand exactly what she'd lost and what she'd done. First, I called a lawyer, a good one, the kind who doesn't mess around. I told him everything, showed him the emails, the hotel confirmations, all of it. He nodded, made notes, and told me Illinois was a no-fault divorce state, but that infidelity could still impact things like spousal support and division of assets. "Document everything," he said. "Don't delete anything, and don't tip her off until we're ready." Next, I went to our bank. We had a joint account, which turned out to be a mistake on Sarah's part. I didn't drain it, that would be too obvious and probably illegal, but I did move exactly half of it into a new account in my name only. My money, safe and separate. Then I went through our condo and started documenting what was mine, what was hers, and what we'd bought together. The lawyer had told me this would be important later. I took pictures of everything, serial numbers on electronics, receipts where I could find them. The hardest part was acting normal. Sarah texted me every day from Sedona, sending pictures of what she claimed were desert landscapes but were clearly beaches. She called once and I answered, and she told me about a sunrise meditation that had been life-changing. "That sounds amazing. I'm so glad you're having a good time." "I miss you," she said, and for a second I almost believed her. "Miss you too," I lied. The day before Sarah was supposed to come home, Vanessa came over to my condo. She walked through slowly, taking it all in. "This is where you lived your fake life," she said. It wasn't mean, just observational. "Yeah," I said. "This is it." "You deserve better, you know." She turned to look at me. "Better than this place, better than her, all of it." "I'm starting to realize that," I said. That night, Vanessa stayed over. Not for sex, though that happened too, but mostly because I didn't want to be alone. We ordered pizza, the kind Sarah never let me get because it wasn't organic or healthy or whatever. We watched bad movies and she made sarcastic comments through the whole thing, and for the first time in days, I actually laughed. "Thank you," I said around midnight. "For what?" "For telling me, for helping, for not letting me feel crazy." Vanessa kissed my forehead, maternal almost. "You're not crazy, Daniel. You're just married to a monster, but not for much longer." Sarah came home on a Wednesday afternoon. I'd taken the day off work, told my boss I had a family emergency, which wasn't technically a lie. I'd deep cleaned the condo, bought fresh flowers for the kitchen table, and made sure everything looked exactly as it had when she left. I heard her key in the lock and my heart started pounding. This was it, no turning back. She came in dragging her suitcase, skin tanned and glowing, hair lighter from the sun. She looked happy, relaxed. Guilty people aren't supposed to look this good. "Honey!" She dropped her suitcase and came over to hug me. She smelled like sunscreen and coconut. "I missed you so much." I hugged her back, mechanical. "How was the trip?" "Oh my God, it was exactly what I needed." She pulled back, eyes bright. "Sedona is just magical. The energy there, the landscape, everything. You would have loved it." "I bet," I said. "Tell me all about it." We sat on the couch, the one she'd picked out, and she lied to my face for 20 minutes straight. She told me about hikes she never took, restaurants she never ate at, meditation sessions she never attended. She was good at it, I'll give her that. Detailed, convincing. If I hadn't known the truth, I would have believed every word. "I brought you something," she said, digging through her bag. She pulled out a small dream catcher, the kind they sell at every tourist shop in the world. "For your office. I thought it might help with your stress." "Thank you," I said, taking it. "That's really thoughtful." She kissed me then, and I kissed her back, and I felt absolutely nothing. "I'm going to shower," she said. "The flight was so long, and I feel gross." The moment she was in the bathroom, I moved. I pulled out my phone and texted Vanessa. "She's home. Phase 2 starts now." Vanessa's response: "Make her suffer. Heart." I went to my laptop and pulled up everything I'd prepared: the hotel confirmations, the emails, the Instagram posts with location tags, screenshots of Marcus's social media, which was public and full of gym selfies and motivational quotes. I organized it all into a single folder and backed it up in 3 different places. Then I went to our bedroom closet and pulled out a suitcase. Not Sarah's fancy one, just the old duffel bag we used for weekend trips. I started packing. Clothes, toiletries, my laptop charger. The dream catcher went into the trash. Sarah came out of the shower in a towel, stopped short when she saw me packing. "What are you doing?" Her voice was careful, controlled. "I'm leaving," I said, not looking up. "What? Why?" She came closer, drops of water falling from her hair onto the hardwood floor. "Daniel, what's going on?" "How was the Bahamas?" I asked, conversationally. The color drained from her face. It was remarkable, really, watching her realize she'd been caught. Her mouth opened, closed, opened again. "I don't know what you don't." I cut her off. "Don't lie anymore. I know everything. The hotel, Marcus, the whole thing. I know you weren't in Sedona. I know you've been cheating on me for months. I know you think I'm nice, but boring." She just stared at me, and for a moment I thought she might try to deny it anyway. But then something shifted in her expression. The mask dropped. "How did you find out?" Not sorry, not ashamed, just angry that she'd been caught. "Does it matter?" I zipped up my bag. "Was it Vanessa?" Sarah's voice turned sharp. "That bitch. I knew I shouldn't have trusted her." "Don't blame Vanessa for your choices. You did this. You lied. You cheated. You packed for a romantic vacation with another man and kissed me goodbye like nothing was wrong." "Daniel, please." Now came the tears, right on schedule. "It was a mistake. It didn't mean anything. I love you. We can work through this." "No," I said simply. "We can't." "So what? You're just going to leave? Walk on 6 years of marriage?" "No," I said again, and picked up my phone. I hit send on the email I'd drafted earlier, the one going to Sarah's mother, her sister, our mutual friends, and yes, to Sarah's boss at the pharmaceutical company. The email had a simple subject line: the truth about Sarah's Sedona trip. In the body of the email, I'd written a brief factual explanation. No emotion, no anger. Just the timeline, the evidence, and the facts. I attached screenshots of everything: the hotel reservation, the flirty emails, the Instagram posts with the location tags that proved she lied. Sarah's phone started buzzing almost immediately. Then mine, then hers again. "What did you do?" She grabbed her phone, saw the notifications, and her face went white. "Daniel, what the fuck did you do?" "I told the truth, something you seem to have trouble with." "You sent this to my mother, my boss?" Her voice was climbing into hysteria. "Do you have any idea what this could do to my career? Do you have any idea what you did to our marriage?" I picked up my bag. "I'll be in touch through my lawyer. Don't contact me directly. Don't come looking for me. We're done."
I walked toward the door, and she followed, crying now, actually crying. "Please don't do this," she said. "We can fix this. I'll end things with Marcus. We can go to counseling. Please, Daniel, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." "You're sorry you got caught. There's a difference." I left her there, crying in the doorway of our condo. I drove to the extended stay hotel I'd booked for the next month. I checked in, went to my room, sat on the unfamiliar bed, and felt a wave of relief so intense it almost knocked me over.
My phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Sarah's mother was calling, her sister was texting, our friends were split between supportive messages and confused questions. I ignored all of it, except one text from Vanessa. "How do you feel?" I typed back, "Free." Over the next few weeks, things moved fast. Sarah tried everything. She showed up at my hotel and I didn't answer the door. She sent long emails that I forwarded directly to my lawyer. She tried to turn our friends against me, but most of them had seen the evidence. Kind of hard to defend someone when there are receipts. The best part? The real revenge came 2 weeks after I left. Sarah's company put her on administrative leave pending an investigation into whether she'd lied about work trips to cover up the affair. Turns out, mixing personal lies with business travel is a fireable offense. Who knew? Marcus, the personal trainer, dumped her immediately when everything became public. Apparently, he hadn't signed up for drama and a potential lawsuit from an angry husband. He blocked her on everything and started dating someone new within a week. Sarah's friends from the yoga studio stopped inviting her to things. Nobody wants to be friends with someone who lies that easily, that thoroughly. Her mother called me once to apologize. "I raised her better than this," she said, crying. "I'm so sorry, Daniel. You deserved better." I thanked her and meant it. The divorce was finalized 3 months later. No fault, but my lawyer made sure Sarah didn't get a penny more than she was legally entitled to, which, given the evidence of her affair, wasn't much. The condo went up for sale. We split the proceeds evenly, which felt fair, even if it hurt. I signed the papers in my lawyer's office on a Tuesday morning. Vanessa was waiting for me outside. "How does it feel?" she asked. "Like closing a book I should have stopped reading a long time ago," I said. We got coffee. We'd been seeing each other regularly since that first night, though we were taking things slow. Neither of us was ready to jump into anything serious. But she made me laugh. She was honest. She didn't play games. "Sarah's been trying to get back on dating apps," Sarah said, scrolling through her phone. "She's using photos from before the Bahamas trip. Very optimistic of her." "How do you know that?" I asked. "I have my ways," she smirked. "Don't worry, I'm not stalking her, just keeping tabs, making sure she doesn't try to rewrite history." "You're a little scary, you know that," I said. "You like it." She wasn't wrong. 6 months after the divorce was final, I ran into Marcus at a coffee shop downtown. He looked uncomfortable, like he wanted to pretend he didn't recognize me, but I walked right up to him. "Hey," I said. "Marcus, right?" Yeah." He looked around like he was checking for exits. "Look, man, I'm really sorry about everything. I didn't know she was married when we started. Well, I mean, I figured it out pretty quick, but by then—" "It's fine," I cut him off. "I actually wanted to thank you." "Thank me?" He looked genuinely confused. "Yeah, you did me a favor. If Sarah hadn't cheated with you, I'd probably still be married to her, thinking everything was fine. You helped me dodge a bullet." He stared at me for a second, then laughed nervously. "That's a really healthy way to look at it." "I'm a healthy guy," I said, and walked away. The truth is, I did dodge a bullet. Sarah was never going to be faithful. She was never going to be satisfied. She was always going to be looking for something better, something more exciting, something that made her feel like the main character she thought she was. And me? I'm not nice and boring. I'm stable. I'm loyal. I'm good. And I deserve someone who sees that as a strength, not a flaw. 1 year after everything fell apart, Vanessa and I moved in together. Not the condo, obviously. We found a new place in Wicker Park, a loft with exposed brick and huge windows. It felt like a fresh start. We were unpacking boxes one Saturday when she handed me something wrapped in tissue paper. "What's this?" I asked. "Open it." I unwrapped a dream catcher, identical to the one Sarah had brought me from her fake Sedona trip, the one I'd thrown away.
I thought you might want a replacement, from someone who actually went to Sedona. I took a weekend trip, saw the energy vortexes and everything. I laughed and kissed her. It's perfect. I hung it in my office, right above my desk. A reminder that sometimes the worst things that happen to us lead to the best things. That betrayal can be a gift if you know what to do with it. That revenge doesn't always look like anger and destruction. Sometimes revenge is just living well, being happy, moving on completely while the person who hurt you is still stuck in the mess they created. Sarah's still in Chicago somewhere, still trying to rebuild her reputation, still telling anyone who listened that I overreacted, that she made one mistake and I ruined her life. But I didn't ruin her life. She did that all by herself. I just made sure everyone knew the truth. And honestly, that's the best revenge of all. So, that's my story. From a clueless husband in the frozen food aisle to a divorced man who got his life back and found someone who actually deserves him. If you made it this far, thanks for sticking with me through the whole mess. Drop a comment below and let me know where you're watching from. I'm curious how far this story travels and whether betrayal feels the same everywhere, or if it hits different depending on where you are in the world. And hey, if this story taught you anything, or if you've got your own revenge story that ended with you winning, share it in the comments. Sometimes we all need to hear that karma's real and that cheaters really do lose in the end. Subscribe if you want more stories like this. Trust me, I've got plenty more where this came from. Until next time, stay smart, stay loyal, and never help anyone pack for a trip they're taking with their secret lover.